everyone, it's Bloom here, and welcome to my Let's Play of Fatal Frame 3, The Tormented. This is the third game in the Fatal Frame franchise. It's called Zero in Japan and Project Zero in Europe, and it's kind of both a sequel to Fatal Frame 1 and Fatal Frame 2, though you could start with this game if you wanted to. It's not a direct sequel, and it's more of a sequel to 1. The connection to 2 is pretty negligible, and if you watch my playthrough of 2, you know that I hate that game, and I think it is very bad, but Fatal Frame 3 is luckily a real return to form, although it does have some problems, mainly in its exploration design, that we will get to, but it is otherwise a really great game. The story is actually pretty great, and it has a lot of interesting things to say. It is a little messy in how it's told, and it does have some pacing issues, but that sort of fits with the story in a way. And this game has some of the best and scariest ghost designs in the whole series. And the combat has also returned to something that's fun instead of bad and annoying, and it's even challenging in some parts. This game is a lot harder than the previous two games, though that's not really saying much because the last two were incredibly easy, especially 2. And this game, while not actually a hard game, you do have to actually conserve your resources a bit. It's more akin to what you'd have to do in any other survival horror game. So, I am excited to get started. So, here we go. We're gonna play on normal.
Should we get going?
I heard this house was haunted. Too bad it's not.
Rumors are just rumors. I'm gonna load these up.
You?
So this is the Manor of Sleep. It's the, well, I was about to say main location, but it is the only location in the game. It is very big and very confusing and very sprawling and winding and just like even more so than the first game. And we don't have the camera obscura yet, but we can still take pictures. This part just gives you a little bit of a feel for how things are going to work. I am not getting all the snapshots of ghosts. It's kind of it's very, very hard to do that. It's a lot more challenging than previous games. And also there's a lot. But I will be getting all the shots that give us undeveloped photos, so we will be doing that. Oh shit. Yeah, that's really hard to get because you go past. There's a lot of stuff like that. It's very tricky. But I'm not gonna get mad about it. That is an enemy. We have no way to fight him. Our camera obscura does nothing.
Stay here.
I mean, not our camera obscura. It's not a camera obscura. Our camera does nothing because it's just, well, if you look in tools, it just says professional camera, camera used for work. Ray prefers slightly older cameras. Oh yeah, and our protagonist's name is Ade. The kanji for her name means like wise. I think it's kind of an unusual kanji for the name Ade. But of course, Ade is a pun on zero. And which also means, like, I mean, if you don't know how Japanese works, words can mean different things depending on what kanji is used, but ide, the word ide, can be used, it can be made up of different kanji, and sometimes that kanji means, like, ghost or spirit, and sometimes it means zero. That's why the games are called Zero in Japan, because it's a pun, and then this character is named Ade with a different kanji. And her surname is Kurosawa, like Kurosawa, the name from Fatal Frame 2, and it means like...
Wait! There's still something I
What?
need to say!
Come on, man. Yeah, it's very tricky. This game is very tricky sometimes with, like, the small amount of time it gives you, to take snapshots. But I'm not gonna get all hung up about it. If I don't get a shot, I just don't get a shot. But yeah, Kurosawa means, black stream or black swamp.
you okay?
Oh, it was nothing. This place is...
Hour 1, The Sign. That's what chapters are called in this game. The fenced gate is locked with a padlock. There's a small door on the other side. The lock is engraved with a notched arrow design. We won't be going in there for a while. There's a large door in the entry hall. This could be the entrance to the manor. Hanging on both sides of the door, there are candles that burn with a blue flame. I don't really remember, but maybe this is how I got in here. Right now, the doors are firmly closed. So, there's like... Sometimes there's a little bit of graphic glitches. Some of it is actually part of the game itself. So I can't really do anything about it. I am also using HD textures. I will put the link in the description, you know, just like I did for the past 2 games. But this game looks especially good. I think it's one of the best looking games on the PS2, actually. They seem to be full of old nails and chisels. Did it say chisels, or did I just imagine that? Yeah, chisels. Old candles and things. Awesome. Herbal medicine. There are bars in the wall by my feet, and cold air is blowing in from the other side. It looks like there is another corridor like this on the other side of the wall. What? That was so close. That was so close, man. That was so close. I can see into the next room through a lattice window in the alcove wall. There's a piece of paper or something on the floor. Memo in shaky hand. It's not my fault. I didn't choose to survive. The alcove is decorated with a small image in a hanging scroll. It looks like there was originally a landscape painting on the scroll, but not much is left of it now. There's a clock on the wall. 2 ink boxes. The lacquer on the outside of the box is peeling and the color has faded. It's kind of redundant to call these things Japanese, but they were doing it in the other games as well. Old clothes. From a window in the wall, I can see the room by the entrance. Sealed by some strong power. So it's not as bad in the early sections of the game, but this game, it really just kind of like has you wander until you figure out what you're supposed to do, which some people might like, and I think a little bit of that is good, but it's kind of excessive in this game. A little bit of over the shoulder. They were experimenting, I guess. This is the last Fatal Frame game where it's over the shoulder. Oh, and look, whenever the character is far away, they kind of get a little glitchy. And I don't know why that is. Again, it is part of the actual game. It's not an issue with PCSX2. It's part of the game. And your characters usually don't get this far away, but I don't know, it bugs me. It bugs me. Come on, man. Something is reflecting light. Camera obscura. It's an old-fashioned bellows camera, some kind of occult markings enchased metal cover. The whole body. Enchased metal cover the whole body. It still looks to be in good condition. There is some old-fashioned writing carved on the back. Camera obscura. Maybe that's the name of the camera. Basic functions and shoot instructions added to file. You can consult the file screen by choosing File from the menu Start button. I mean, do we need to read them? It's exactly the same as past games. It's just, well, it's more akin to 1. There's some dyeing equipment in the cupboard. Then 2, we have the charge-up functions. They made the game good again. They made the combat good again. The blue flame in the lantern is lit. You can save now. A peephole has been opened in the wall. The sound seems to coming from here. Stand in front of the hole and press the X button to have a look through it. So that's some undeveloped photos that will show up in real life.
Don't want to see anymore.
And we can have them developed and like turn them in. Well, you'll see, but we can get some extra reading materials which flesh out the story more, so I'm gonna get all of them.
Where did he go?
That's so good. The explanation of battle controls has been added to files. It's the same as 1, pretty much. Not so much 2, because the combat is good again. But, I don't know. Why bother reading it? We don't need to worry about the kid right now. We just need to worry about Mom. They killed that voice actor in real life for that take. But yeah, the voice acting is actually a lot better than in previous games. It's not perfect, but it is good. Kimberly Brooks plays Day, and she's really good. She's a very prolific voice actor. She was one of the Hex girls in Scooby-Doo, and she did a bunch of stuff. But she was also Princess Allura in that show that shall not be named.
If only I died too. It's not my fault that I'm the only one that survived. I should have been taken. I didn't survive because I wanted to. I had no choice. If I had just stayed Marius, I would have. I didn't survive because I wanted to. I had no choice. So if I had died with everyone else, yes, if I had died with everyone else, then I would.
Are you all right?
Other one.
me sleep forever.
Ray? Is everything okay? I heard you cry out. I was worried. You've been having so many nightmares lately.
What? I'm fine.
But
I just had a bad dream.
Was it all just a dream? Anyway, I better get up. The bruise appears. Notebook use. During the course of the game, when you find new information, it will be recorded in the notebook. When there is a new entry in the notebook, the title will appear in the top right. You can access a notebook from the menu. If you press the L1 button while the item name is shown in the top right, you can refer to that item. The bruise appears. I felt a sharp pain in my shoulders when I woke up. For a moment, I thought I could see some kind of bruise on my skin, but when I looked again, there was nothing there. Was it just a dream? The abandoned house. I wasn't motivated enough to find out much about the place before I went. About all I knew was that it was supposed to be haunted. What was behind the strange daydream vision I had in that house in the snow? Was I just worn out, still scarred by the accident? Or are the rumors really true? Was he really there? The Manor of Sleep. The ruined house I wandered in my dream that night. I got back after my vision on that assignment. Something about it reminded me of the haunted house where I saw you. It seemed too real to be a dream. Daydreams, visions, maybe I'm just tired. Yu Aso. My fiancé. He was an editor who worked on books of folklore, philosophy, and anthropology. We met as students. He was the opposite of me in every way, quiet and kind, like gently falling rain, like a soft shower that washes everything clean. The reason she says that is because the kanji that make up the name Yu, in this case, is the one for gentle and the one for rain, so... He passed away 2 months ago in an accident caused by my careless driving. Miku Hinasaki. Miku! Miku Hinasaki, younger sister of Yu's best friend. She lives with me now and works as my assistant. I haven't met her brother. You told me she had lost a relative in an accident. She helps me out in all kinds of ways, not just with work. She's cheerful and hardworking. If not for her, I don't know how I would have made it through after you passed away. The tattooed woman. The woman who appeared in my dream of the manor, her whole body covered in a blue tattoo. She came closer and I ran away before I knew what was happening. All I remember is an intense fear. I can still feel her cold, stabbing fingers on the back of my shoulder where she touched me. It's hard to believe it was only a dream. Mother and daughter. The mother and child who appeared in my dream in old-fashioned kimonos. They were looking for someone, calling out in sad voices to him. Who could they be? So one of the biggest strong points in this game is that how it handles characterization. The characters are fleshed out a lot more than they are in 2 or even 1, where they were barely fleshed out at all. But it does, one of my favorite things in video games in terms of like characterization is it allows you to go around places and get your character's thoughts on things. And in this case, it's Ray's house, so we can get a lot of thoughts, and it's really great. Another thing I think is interesting how she says, like, you was the exact opposite of me. He was, like, gentle and, you know, like his namesake, he was, like, gentle falling rain. And so it kind of implies that the way that Ray acts in this game is a result of, like, her depression. Like, she is not like this normally. And I think that makes a lot of sense to point out in this case. There isn't any tape I want to listen to now. On this shelf, I keep my photo books and newspapers. Miku bought most of the photography books for me. She has a good eye for these things, but most of them I have hardly even glanced at. On this shelf is a camera I never use anymore. I used to enjoy using this camera back in the days when I used to take pictures for fun. My voice is like really low right now and scratchy because I'm about to have my period, so I apologize for that. I'm gonna like do one of these recording sessions and it's gonna be really obvious that I had my period because my voice is gonna be completely different. Pieces of my work are pinned up on the wall. There are more scenery shots now than there used to be. I don't feel ready yet for projects that involve taking pictures of people. My clothes are thrown carelessly into the closet. I've never been a tidy person, and unless I make a real effort, things soon get like this. Miku must not have seen in here yet. She would never have left it in this state. It looks fine. It makes me feel really bad about, you know, how messy my house is. A few fashion magazines lie tossed aside. I used to do this kind of work as well, and used to like reading the magazines too, but it's not the kind of thing I can enjoy anymore. There are several handmade scented candles on top of the desk. Miku made them. She probably made them specifically with me in mind, but for that reason I can't bring myself to light them, and so they just sit here unlit and unused. I don't feel like sleeping now. On the desk are a sketchbook and an appointment book Miku made for me to keep track of all my work assignments. Squeezed into the corner of the page is a handwritten warning. Don't work too hard. Maybe I have been working too hard since that day, but that's the way I prefer it right now.
Good morning, Ray.
I'm just gonna ignore her. This is Miku's room. Even if this is my house, I don't really like to go into her room without permission. I know Miku wouldn't care at all, though. Yu's room. Ever since the accident, I try not to come in here unless I have a good reason. A bright-colored roll screen hangs over the window. You can hear a soft drizzle. Miku picked it out and bought it for us the other day. Well, Miku just does everything around here.
Good morning, Ray. It looks like it's going to rain all day today, too. You don't have to work so much this week, so why don't you try to relax? Ray, you've been working too much lately. You were woken up by a bad dream this morning. Not to mention what happened when we were out collecting data the other day. Anyway, let's try to take it easy today. That reminds me, there was a letter. It's addressed to you.
Letter from K1. Dear you, sorry for not writing for so long. How are things with your fiancé? I'm continuing my investigation of the urban legend. Like I thought, my niece's symptoms bear many similarities to that strange disease associated with the urban legend. I think most of the story is groundless rumor, but I've heard there was a psychiatric study done. If you have it, I'd like to see it. Maybe it will provide a clue. I'm taking a break from all my other work to devote myself to studying the urban legend. I'd like your help. According to the documents I've studied, that camera I sent you is apparently a rare camera obscura. Given where I found it, it may have some connection to the missing people and the urban legend. If you hear anything, please tell me. Regards, Kei Amakura. And Amakura is the same surname that Mio and Mayu have. Letter from K1 added to file.
It's from Kei Amakura. He's written several times before. Have you still not told him about you?
Use camera obscura? I wonder if it would be in Yu's room. Kei Amakura. I've never met him personally, but he was a friend of Yu. He used to write from time to time. Yu seems to have known lots of people both professionally and privately. According to the letter, he and Yu were doing research into urban legends. Maybe the camera obscura was somehow connected with that. I should tell him about the accident. I like how she says, I should do it, but then she doesn't. The storage space under the stairs is full of old newspapers and magazines. And I'm not being sarcastic, I actually really like that detail. She is like a very realistic depiction of a severely depressed person. Outside the window is a small garden. A light drizzle has been falling for several days now. It's been some time since I last tended the garden. There's something comforting about the sound of rain, the way it seems to envelop the whole house and everything in it. We decided against having a TV in our own rooms and bought a bigger one for the living room instead. I hardly watch it at all these days. The widescreen TV we want to use in the living room. These days I hardly watch it at all.
Kitty cat!
In the corner is an ornamental potted plant. Looking after it is Miku's job. Come to think of it, Miku looks after just about everything in the house these days. I don't think they say anything about the cat. I think it's Miku's cat. Either that... well, the cat is mostly attached to Miku, so I guess even if it's not technically Ray's cat, it is Miku's cat. This shelf is where I keep my old video cassettes and books. Stuck to the refrigerator door are my work schedule, a calendar with supermarket discount days marked on it, and post-it notes with recipes on them. Miku cooks all the meals. She seems to enjoy doing chores around the house. I don't know what I'd do without her, really. Stuck to the refrigerator door are my work schedule, a calendar with little post-it notes. The tableware is kept here inside the cupboard. Used things are kept clean here, too. The sink is cleanly polished. This feels more like Miku's place than mine. Miku hardly ever asks for anything, but she begged me to buy her this microwave. It wasn't cheap, but we've been eating all kinds of new things since we got it. No thanks to me, though. The only things I use it for is heating up instant meals. The microwave I bought after a rare request from Miku. It's always so clean you'd think it was brand new. The large oven range with a 4-burner stove. I was determined to get the most out of it when we moved in, but in fact I've not used it at all except for boiling water or fixing a simple meal. This is the dishwasher I bought for Miku. I thought it would make life easier for her, but she hardly ever seems to use it. Lacquerware and fragile plates damage easily if you wash them in a machine, she says. From here you can look across the counter and see the whole of the living room, a real mom's eye view. I think there's a lot of, like, this is a pretty big house for 1 or 2 people in Japan, so I think there's an implication, of course, that they were going to start a family with the whole, like, it's a 4-burner stove, but I haven't needed to use more than one of them, and it's a real mom's eye view. The front door is kept locked. Since that day, I don't leave the house unless I have to for work. Miku's low-heeled shoes are under the shoe rack. If we cleared away used shoes, there would be plenty of room for all of Miku's. I can see my face reflected in the mirror above the wash basin. Maybe I've lost a little weight again. Miku takes care of washing the clothes too. It's a real help. I've never been good at housework. She's been complaining these past few days that she can't hang the clothes out to dry because of the rain. There's no one in the bath. Even when I'm busy, I like to soak in the tub every day. Recently, though, I've just been taking showers. A chill breeze escapes from the empty bathroom. A clothes chest that Miku brought with her from home. Inside are Miku's kimonos and the funeral mourning that I have worn just once. As well as cushions and bedding, the closet is full of used old books, still where we left them when we first moved in. I have never looked inside them. I guess they must be something to do with his work. The closet is taken up with cardboard boxes full of used old books, untouched since we first moved in. Use altar. You. We use this space for storing the cleaning things and other tools. Some of these cardboard boxes haven't been touched since we moved in. And just so you know, you can take out your camera at any point, but, you know, there's no need to because there are no ghosts in this house. Right? The curtains have been drawn for a long time now. In this cardboard box are plastic bottles containing developer and fixer fluids for developing photographs. In the plastic barrel is the kerosene we use in winter. This was supposed to be a storeroom, really, but they put in a sink so I could develop my pictures here. I don't have any film I can develop now. On this shelf, I keep the negatives of my work photos. In this box, I keep my films and printing paper. I don't have any film I can develop now. Yes, you do. Oh, wait. We need to get the camera first. I knocked on the toilet door, but it looks like there's no one inside. There was something about some sort of camera obscura that you owned written in that letter. The camera obscura, could it be the same camera I saw in my dream?
Ray, may I help you with something?
Oh, I just wanted to ask you.
It's just like, this game is really great at its depiction of someone grieving. A thin ray of sunlight comes in through the drawn curtains. It is always raining here. Whenever I hear the sound of the rain, I can't help thinking back to what happened that day. On the shelf are a letter and a camera similar to the one I saw in my dream. It looks like the letter is from Kay. Letter from Kay, too. Whoops. I have to go back and read that. My niece Mia, when Mayu disappeared... Wait, I'll read it. Letter from Kay to added file. It's really weird how it doesn't let you go back. Could this camera be the same as the camera obscura I saw in my dream? Camera obscura. This is older than the one in the dream, and the inscription on the back is illegible. Even so, it does look very similar to the camera obscura. I tried pushing the shutter button, but there was no response. It looks like it's broken. There is still an old film inside the camera obscura. The film looks pretty old, but it doesn't seem to have been spoiled by being exposed at all. What could be on it? I wonder if I can develop it in the dark room. So let's read that letter. Letter from K2. Dear you, during my research on the Manor of Sleep urban legend, I finally made it to a certain deserted village lost even from the map. I found this camera in a huge abandoned house near that village. My niece Mio, when Mayu disappeared, she caused you a lot of trouble, so you probably remember her. Saw this camera and she was scared stiff. I wonder if it reminded her of that unspeakable incident. For now, I'd like you to take care of the camera. You know about antiques, so could you look it over for me? I don't think you'll be able to reach me for a bit, but I'll contact you, so let me know what you find then. Regards, Kei Amakura. Camera obscura. An old camera etched with the words camera obscura. I found a camera like the one I picked up in my dream in Yu's room. Apparently Kei sent it to him. Is this the same camera I saw in my dream? So yeah, even though we found the camera, it is broken in the real world. We can only use it in the Manor of Sleep, so we just use our regular camera. There are blue sheets on the bed. Everything in this room is the same color. The curtains, the bed covers, the pillowcases. It is my favorite color. On the bare shelf are the old bits of machinery you used to collect. There's not quite impressive enough to be called antiques. They just look like old machines. I still have no idea what made him want to collect them. I seem to remember him telling me about it once or twice, but maybe I wasn't really listening properly. The bookshelves are full of volumes of folklore, philosophy, and anthropology. They're all books Yu used for his work, or ones that were published by his company. There was a time when I used to be interested in them, but it was only a passing phase. In the bookcase is the book Occultism that Amakura wrote about in his letter. The camera obscura. The camera obscura is a device used to capture the other world, made by occultist Kunihiko Aso. From the late 19th to the early 20th century, he tried to communicate with and get proof of this other world. The term occultist refers to people involved in the movement to verify Eastern thought using contemporary Western technology. Kunihiko Aso is a prime example of such an occultist. The camera obscura was one of his quintessential experiments. He modified the at the time still rare camera by adding a special lens and film. It was supposed to capture unbelievable things normally invisible to the naked eye, like a so-called different phase interval and spirits and ghosts. They are very rare nowadays, but apparently these cameras are still traded among curio dealers. Most have been broken, and we have lost the chance to see the other world, as well as Aso's achievements for eternity. After you've received new information, you may find related books and documents in bookcases or desks. Kunihiko Aso, a scholar of the occult who lived in the second half of the 19th century. He used the new technology of the West to make various machines designed to prove the existence of the other world. The camera obscura was one of his inventions. According to the book, it could photograph supernatural objects existing on an alternate plane. Was he somehow connected to the manor? Camera obscura. An old camera called the camera obscura. It was designed by a man with the same surname as Yu Aso to photograph images of spirits and ghosts. But what was the camera doing inside the manor? Arranged on the books. Okay. Used clothes are still hanging inside his closet. I decided not to tidy them away. Once they were in boxes, I knew they'd never come out again. There are some cardboard boxes in the corner of the room. After what happened, I tried to sort through his things, but after a while I just couldn't go on anymore and I haven't touched it at all since. There are typed and handwritten letters on the desk, along with several books. I have hardly touched anything in here since that day. I just can't bring myself to tidy everything away. There is a notebook left out on the top of the desk. Perhaps somebody was in the middle of working. On the urban legend, many of the urban legends classified as the Lost Village are modeled on real incidents such as a village was ruined when one village massacred the others. They are often an amalgamation of well-known actual incidents, legend, and oral tradition. Settings such as the isolated mountain village or bygone customs like night trysts or ceremonies often act to trigger the incidents themselves, and these in turn become the motif for urban legends. The reason for the popularity of urban legends may lie in the notion of the view of the country from the city or the modern bias toward the ancient. To people in the modern city, the village is the wilderness, and those who live there are different. People that scorn or fear, perhaps that scorn or fear finds expression in the urban legend. For that reason, the setting of the legend must be the isolated mountain village. Further, bygone customs are attractive elements that end up acting to provoke the incident. As a case in point, there is the story about the area around the Minakami Dam where Mayu went missing, the Lost Village. In the mountains of the Minakami area, there was once a massacre in the so-called Lost Village. Years ago, on the night of a certain festival, there was a great massacre and the village disappeared from the map. Only one woman survived. If you walk in the forest where the village once lay, there is a small guardian statue, and if you continue, you will come to the shrine gate that forms the entrance to the village. If you should pass through the gate, you will never return. The night of the massacre continues in the village where day will never again break, and a woman's horrific laugh rings throughout the village. Next, we have the Manor of Bizarre Murders, where the same tragedy recurs. Its scale is smaller, but generally speaking, it resembles the pattern of the village, as it is made up of elements based on true incidents. Below is an example of this. It has to do with Mafuyu's disappearance. The House of Mutilation. In the mountain area of Himuro, there remains a manor where years ago there was said to be a massacre. There have always been vanishings in the nearby forest, and many of the spirited away are said to end up in the manor. Their corpses have been found with both hands, legs, and heads severed off. One more example is the seemingly related Manor of Sleep urban legend that I'm researching now. The Manor of Sleep legend was picked up in various magazines in the late 1960s, but incidents with very similar characteristics can be found here and there in older media. This newspaper is from early 1900s and is of no relation to when the Manor of Sleep legend was taken up but the background of the spirited aways and those people's later conditions may bear similarities to the Manor of Sleep urban legend. I'm still investigating, but these incidents may trace back to the 19th century, and I have seen legends in several folklore books that may have become the basis for the Manor of Sleep. The House of Sleep urban legend. Perhaps this is what Kay was asked to investigate. You add a well-organized notebook on urban legends to your file. After you have received new information, you may find related books and documents in bookcases or desks. An old newspaper is stuck to the notebook. Vanishing. Series of vanishings across the region. According to sources, before dawn yesterday, a mother and daughter who lived in Myojin village went missing. The missing are Makie Kuzuhara and her daughter Kozue. Since last year, the two have been searching for Kuzuhara's missing husband. The two reportedly wandered the mountains nearly every day. The information says I hadn't seen them for several days, so I went to visit them. There was no answer, so I went inside, but they were gone. I only saw some black soot-like marks. Similar disappearances are being reported across the area, and some are calling them spirited aways. Use research. According to the notebook left on his desk, Yu was doing some research for Kei Amakura. His notes are full of accounts of old urban legends and newspaper clippings about disappearances and people who were spirited away. Hello, kitty cat. Kitty cat wants in. Oh, she still can't let her in, let the cat in. Your cat wants into your room. Hey, take care of your cat.
You've been working too hard. You should get some rest.
An old roll of film from inside the camera obscura. There is definitely something on the film. I wonder if I can develop it. An image has appeared of a crying woman. Just as I thought, I must have taken this during that dream. All the film has been developed. The camera obscura, the abandoned house, the picture I took in my dream. Maybe if I investigate this woman, I can find something out. Or maybe if Miku investigates the woman in the photo. The woman whose image appeared on the film from inside the camera obscura. No doubt about it, it was the same woman I saw inside the manor in my dream. Just like with you that time. This is a long segment because, well, we're going out around and examining everything. But most of the segments where you're in Ray's house are a bit shorter. Miku, about the woman in this picture, I was wondering if I could get you to try and find out as much about her as you can. Anything is fine.
Yes. Well, this is a very old picture, so
I found it in Yu's room. It's okay if you can't find anything out. There was just something about her.
Understood. I'll let you know if I find anything.
If you show the photos you've developed to Miku, sometimes you can ask her to investigate them for you. If you have them investigated, you can come talk to Miku later to get books and other information. Night has fallen. If you check the bed with the X button, you can sleep. By checking the camera obscura on the desk, you can save your progress. I don't think there's anything we can do now. Sometimes there's some extra stuff that we can look at, but I don't think there's anything tonight. Actually, I have some notes on this. Let me go check the notes.